fight's not over.
Stop the fight!
People.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody. Ah!
All right, guys, welcome back to Broke Bets. Lane here with you, and I got my co-host with me as always, Carson. What's up?
Yo, what's going on?
Coming off of 5 straight winning betting cards, ended up winning not as much on this one, but losing off of Perez's injury. You can't really control some of those results, but again, 5 straight winning cards, pulling out the numbers here, and let's get our first matchup here. We got Lun Zhao, I think they actually say on the commentary, versus Chang Ho Lee. Give me Xiao. I just think he's fought better opponents on his way through the road to the UFC, and although they are majority decision, split decision wins in the last 2, I do feel like they were just much better opponents. The striking, the wrestling was at a much higher level. On the Chang Ho Lee side, this guy is more of a brute, likes to walk forward, eat the punches to try to get to a clinch, where he doesn't even have good takedowns. So I think he has to walk through strikes, use his grappling, which isn't even that great, and I think Lun Zhao could hit reverses, switches on him with a little bit better scramble ability, and use better footwork and striking in this one. I'm going to take him by decision in a grueling fight here, but I do think Lun Zhao will be the slicker fighter in a matchup like this. So, yeah.
Yeah, Lun Zhao fought Christian Quinones back in 2021 on the Contender Series. So, after that loss, he's had four straight wins. So, looking to get back here in the UFC, I think that that experience will help him here in this fight.
Yep. All right. Xiao by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Sedriques Dumas versus Denis Tiuliulin. Bad matchup here we have, but a fun one. I think it'll be to watch. Questionable. Dumas has been in some bad ones. That Cody Brunage one might be one of the all-time worst to watch. But it'll be funny. We're going to go with Tiuliulin, actually, here. 11-9 record, but about 4 of these losses in the UFC were set-up losses. I mean, Kriziev, they wanted a kickoff win. Park, they wanted, that's just grappler versus striker matchup. Rodriguez, just way better than him, grappler versus striker in a way. And Leroy Duncan, way better. Just, he's been getting fed to the wolves. Dumas is put in the same situation. His record would be 9-7. So, Tiuliulin, though, I like that he ends most of his combinations, or ends, he starts first. Horrible. He likes to start with the first strike and end as well in the last strike. So he's throwing combos. Dumas a little bit more one punch at a time. The cardio is questionable. He is a really big dude, but I like Tiuliulin striking just better. So give me Tiuliulin.
Yeah, Tiuliulin striking isn't horrible. You saw against Kriziev in their fight when they were actually standing up on the feet. Tiuliulin was hanging in there. It was just obviously his ground game is god awful, and Kriziev was able to get him down and choke him out, and that's what most of his opponents have been doing to him. Dumas, I mean, I think he probably will try to take this one down to the mat, just because that is the glaring weakness in Tiuliulin's game, but he slows down quite a bit as well. I don't know if he'll be able to get him down and hold him down. He's just not that good, but I think Tiuliulin will have the better striking here. He's in the full camp as well. Dumas coming in on short notice. He's got to fly halfway across the world too. So
yep.
We'll see. But I like Tiuliulin here.
I also think that Dumas, I don't know, I haven't seen him land a takedown because Cody Brunage pulled 15 guillotines on him and missed every single one. So who knows if he can even get those takedowns. He should be able to if you're in this game, but also the body kicks. Come on, give me Tiuliulin. Let's see what this Russian can do. Okay, for the next fight, we have Magomed Gadzhiyasulov versus Brendson Ribeiro. It's a long last name. We got it. Oh man, this one, the odds are completely off. Brendson Ribeiro is a total killer be killed style fighter, and that's At light heavyweight, a threatening thing for a guy who's undefeated to walk into, but I'm going to stay with the undefeated fighter. I'm going to take him by a first-round knockout. Ribeiro just likes these 50-50s, and even in that Zhang fight, Zhang had a good chin, man. He took some big strikes. There's some damage on Zhang's face, and then obviously the 3-punch combo that knocked out Ribeiro with the left hook involved. But I mean, you just looked at the Bruno Lopez fight. He's throwing a lot of punches out there at length. And Gadzhiyasulov, sorry, long fucking name. Underwhelming Contender Series fight. However, he is pretty clean in round 1. I do think these guys slug it out, and I do think someone falls. So give me him by a round 1 knockout. What do you think?
Yeah, Ribeiro is going to be forcing the action here. He's only been to 1 decision. He's the definition of kill or be killed. I think he'll be going forward, and Gadzhiyasulov will time some of those strikes and KO. Ribeiro's been KO'd 3 times, all of them in that very first round. So I see that is the likely path to victory. But yeah, like you said, the odds are crazy, and I've seen that Gadzhiyasulov line come down quite a bit here already.
Yeah, for the guy that he wasn't able to finish on the Contender, and then the fact that this Medina guy even got signed to the UFC just for being a punching bag. He hasn't gotten a fight yet. I think he might have gotten scheduled but canceled with the guy. But hoping for that under 1.5, I do think that's an easy play to look for here. Again, like you said, Ribeiro will force the action, and that'll determine if he wins by finish or loses by finish. And just him by finish as a bet, I mean, I'm curious what the number will be. It might be like it'll probably be plus 400 if he's plus 360, like it says on here, because they think this fight's not going to go the distance. But him by knockout would be another good stab. So anyway, Gadzhiyasulov, round 1 KO. Okay, for the next fight, we have Muin Gafurov versus Kyung Kang. They're always going to have Gafurov and Naimov on the same card, these Tajikistan guys. God, that even makes me think about that other Tajikistan guy that kind of looks like Habib. I can't remember his name at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to go with Kang here. I'm going to say he's the slicker boxer, and he's also got that jiu-jitsu base in him, which is solid, and I don't think I don't know if he'll get a submission in a scenario like this. But Gafurov, he has good aggression, but overall just can't get clean takedowns and clean damage on the ground. The stand-up's just very sloppy, wild. Doesn't connect much, but again has the aggression. Kind of a close fight, but I'm gonna take Kang here.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very close decision here. But I think the judges will lean towards the aggression of Gafurov and him always forcing the action too, and it's on his region of the world here too. So I do think the crowd will be in his favor and be going crazy if he lands a takedown. Woohoo! Yeah, I just think he'll win more minutes, but yeah, like you said, he doesn't do a ton of damage when he does get good top control, but. Yeah, I feel like he'll be winning most of the minutes here.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, yeah, the moving forward thing's a big deal. Kang, he's got that jab. That's mostly what he's got on the feet. And the second he gets pressured, it's questionable whether his jab can kind of push Gafurov off him or if Gafurov just continues to come forward and throw wild hooks and then go on the legs and try to get a takedown. His very overrated wrestling game. I mean, he lost to Chad Anheliger on the Contender, and he failed to get takedowns there or do any reasonable damage. I mean, that Said Nurmagomedov submission that we called that, like, to a T, I remember. Just that Gafurov always throws his neck right in guillotine territory. And Kang he likes to use jiu-jitsu as well. He could easily pull a guillotine where he feeds his hand through and get an easy submission here. So we'll see.
Yeah. And that was Gafurov's first ever loss by finish. So
yeah,
did call that to a T.
All right. Well, On different sides here, Carson has Gafurov, I'm assuming by decision.
Yeah.
And then I got Kang by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Nicolas Dalby. Another interesting fight and great matchmaking in my eyes. We just saw Nicolas Dalby take a guy who has relentless pressure, powerful striking, a great ground game, tire out the prospect, the younger fighter, and then pour it on him late in round 2. And then we just also saw Rinat face Zaleski dos Santos, where he put a pace on Zaleski, and then he got tired and almost finished in round 3. So I'm going to go on the Dalby side as a limb here. The wrestling scares me in a fight like this. Obviously, I'm not going to have any bets regarding the money line, but Dalby is prone to getting taken down. However, he did such a good job versus Bonfim of just giving Bonfim no space to breathe. And if he could implement a similar strategy where he puts Rinat on the back foot, where Rinat clearly isn't comfortable, he's only comfortable going forward with those long jabs, those long right hands, and those takedowns, he could cause serious trouble here for Fakhretdinov late in the fight. And I'm going to take him by decision. I'm going to say he survives to a decision. What do you think?
Yeah, interesting matchup. I think that last performance by Fakhretdinov was not impressive at all and pretty worrisome. But yeah, Zaleski dos Santos has really good takedown defense, and I don't think Dalby will have that good of takedown defense. I think Fakhretdinov will be able to get a lot of these exchanges down to the mat and hold them down for the most part. Yeah, Fakhretdinov did slow down in that last one, but he wasn't having very much success with the takedowns, and
round 3
his shots became slower and slower.
Yep, round 3. I was gonna say, if you look at it, he didn't even bend his knees when he was going for takedowns. He was kind of just slamming into Zaleski at the torso, which was weird. But
yeah, and then going back to the Brian Battle fight a couple fights ago, he was able to hold him down for 14 minutes of that fight, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, we'll see here. Dalby's been playing spoiler here the last few fights. So yeah, I think it'll be a really close fight. We'll see if Dalby can pull it off, but I lean towards Fakhretdinov here. Yeah,
totally understandable. I mean, Fakhretdinov too. I mean, he looked so dominant in certain fights, and then this the fight IQ, he was calling on extra violence
that was horrible.
And then he was getting ground and pounded and smiling when he was about to go unconscious. Just really strange behavior. Dalby's not the greatest fighter, but we've seen that these guys weaponize their cardio recently, obviously Merab, and if he could implement something like that, that would be another big upset. So I like the matchup here again. So
I think it goes over, but I don't really love the line here.
I could not do it. I don't think on a Rinat fight.
Yeah, neither of these guys have been finished.
Right. All right. Carson's got Fakhretdinov by decision. I got Dalby by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we got Nasrat Haqparast versus Jared Gordon, taking Nasrat. The better boxing here. That's just the simple way it is. And I think he'll be able to stop Jared Gordon's takedowns, as Gordon's not the strongest lightweight. And I mean, the one thing about Nasrat is he could develop other parts of his game better because he is very boxing dependent. But, he's the crowd favorite in this region. Gordon's coming across the world at almost 36 years of age. I think it's going to be hard for him to overcome the odds here. So give me Haqparast by decision.
Yeah, more volume, more accurate punches, good cardio. Yeah, I think Haqparast will be doing more damage here. And I don't know if he'll finish him. Probably not, but maybe. But yeah, I definitely lean towards decision here.
Yeah, Gordon's gotten knocked out before by Charles Oliveira and Joaquim Silva. but it was more those were more slugfest type deal fights where I feel like Haqparast likes to just fight on the outside with his boxing. But yeah, I could totally see a knockout still. Just overwhelming volume and damage accumulated throughout the fight. So.
Right. Yeah.
All right. That's it for me. Is Nasrat by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Shara Butin Magomedov versus Joilton Lutterbach. Taking Shara here. I mean, this is a kickboxer type matchup for both guys. The difference is Shara fights behind a kicking game similar to Umar Nurmagomedov, where in order to even cut down that range, you're going to take a kick to get in there, and as well just having some crazy flexibility, speed with those kicks. Lutterbach's more of a guy that wants to get on the inside and use the hands when I've seen his kickboxing. He's actually not that fast. More of a brute style coming forward, and Shara could use the big cage to move perfectly fine as I see it, and easily point fight if he wanted to in this fight. And then as well, the ground game obviously was a big scare for Magomedov, like in that Bruno Silva fight, getting taken down. When I was looking at Lutterbach's game and his grappling, didn't look too good offensively or defensively, so I don't feel too concerned about it. So I like Magomedov by round 2 knockout.
Yeah, Magomedov is a savage. He controls the range really well. His kicks are so fast. He's got one eye. He's undefeated. He's ginger. He's got seemingly all the tools on the feet, but yeah, just the obvious glaring hole is his ground game, and getting a matchup here where that ground game doesn't really seem to be great on the other side here by Lutterbach. So yeah, I think we got to go with the better striker here, and Magomedov. He's got to imagine that ground game's got to improve a little bit, but yeah, hopefully that won't matter here.
Come to Dagestan, brother. Learn how to smash, brother.
Yeah, he's got anger problems too. He beat up some random guy on escalator for.
He get taken down by that guy too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Takedown defenses, not good in the streets.
Yeah.
Even on his ground though, I did like how active his guard was with damage.
True.
Like
he probably did win that round based on damage.
Right. And yeah, I mean, I don't feel super concerned about all that. I also thought, the UFC wouldn't make this matchup unless they really thought Magomedov could win. Obviously, this isn't like Bo Nickel style matchmaking where they're like, we'll give you a tin can to crush, but this is still very winnable for Magomedov. So.
Yeah, I feel like this is a step down in competition from his last one.
Very true. I mean, yeah, you look at Bruno Silva, and he's edge of the rankings. So, beat Brad Tavares, I think, in his previous matchup or something. So, yeah. All right, Shara Butin, KO, round 2. Okay, for the next fight, we have Johnny Walker versus Volkan Oezdemir. Man, I wanted to pick against Johnny Walker because we're in the desert, and since that doctor stopped that fight because Johnny said he was in the desert, I wanted to pick against him. However, I do think this is just going to be a boring Johnny Walker win by decision. Now, Walker's been in these fights recently where he's doing less crazy shit, less flying knees, less of other stuff, and he's just kind of been... Since the Thiago Santos fight, really, which was like however long ago, he's just been kind of doing teep kicks at range and just being extremely far out and not trying to gas out. And I think Volkan Oezdemir doesn't have the aggression to really break through and just fucking punch his head off, because if anyone really tried, they could with Johnny Walker at light heavyweight. His boxing sucks. His legs are like the inflatable balloon things at a car sales place or a car lot. And, yeah. Jimmy Walker by decision. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll be using his range here. He's got quite the height and reach advantage here. 6'6" to 6'2", and 82-inch reach to 75. So, Yeah, I do think he'll be on the outside with using his range and just touching him and moving. Oezdemir doesn't really force too much action. Going to a decision with Krylov. I mean, no one's really going to decisions with Krylov, are they?
Yeah, Krylov's getting finished, then takes Paul Craig to a decision, who's getting knocked out left, right, and center. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, tough prediction, but I think you got to go Johnny Walker here.
Honestly, if it was in a small cage in Vegas, I'd pick Oezdemir because Walker just has less space to navigate. But in the big cage, also when you come off, every time he's came off one of these knockout losses, like where he looks stupid, he seems to always like just fight super hesitant the following fight. So I'm gonna stay with that. All right.
Yeah.
Walker by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Kelvin Gastelum versus Daniel Rodriguez. Both coming off losses here. Taking Gastelum, just feel like he's more active as a striker and a little bit more variability. D-Rod's got the left low kick and the left straight. And a little, his jab's decent, I guess, as well. But coming off of the Ian Gary loss, the Neil Magny loss, what he should have lost to the Leech, and the Kevin Lee win before that. Getting old. But the truth is, as well, with Kelvin Gastelum, his prime, in my opinion, is over. His prime was against Adesanya fucking how many years ago was that? 6 years ago?
19. Yeah, 5 years.
So I think his prime's past him. He's also kind of outdated in terms of the weight cutting of the sport, that the fact that he just got to 170 and then he faced the strongest dude at 170 in Sean Brady. Just obviously the matchmaking didn't help him, but I'm gonna take him by decision here. Give me Gastelum.
Yeah, I think D-Rod has been on the decline here. This will be about a year since his last fight. Now at 37 years old, pretty much on a 3-fight losing streak, getting finished in the Gary and Magny fight. Yeah, Gastelum, I mean, he had a pretty good performance 2 fights ago against Chris Curtis. That was a really fun fight, back and forth. I think they can do that again. He's got pretty good output. He'll be doing a lot of damage. And I think he'll look good on the judges' eyes with his output and his striking.
Right. One of the best chins in the history of the sport in my eyes as well, so hard to put him away.
Yeah, he's never been KO'd before.
And D-Rod, I mean, Ian Gary took advantage of it, and Ian Gary game planned that fight extremely well, but D-Rod has like a delay on his left hand, and it's very powerful because of it. It's like his shoulders and everything shift forward at once, then the left hand comes, but you can see it coming. So I think someone like Kelvin, who's a southpaw, could pick up on something like that. Hopefully, otherwise, like I said, Kelvin just hasn't improved, man. He hasn't improved since however long, so it's been hard for him to get back.
Yeah, he's also fighting
the best,
top of the top. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when he's losing, it's against Jared Cannonier, Robert Whittaker, Jack Hermanson. I'll throw Darren Till in there 5 years ago, and Adesanya, of course. But, those are tough fights.
Right. All right. Gastelum by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Sergei Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov. Give me Sergei Pavlovich. He's coming back. Let me just say up front, because we're both thinking about it, but like the under 1.5 in this fight is set at -140. Now Pavlovich has gone in the under 1.5 in his last 9 fights. 9 fights in a row. And Volkov, 3 of his last 4 have gone under 1.5 rounds. You look at the odds. Wouldn't you think that the odds for something like that would be like -250? Or higher, because the occurrence of Pavlovich's rate is so high for those first round finishes. we're going to stick with picking a first-round finish here for him. I just think the pressure, the volume, he's going to want to get back in the win column here, and the speed will be a little bit of a trouble for Volkov here.
Yeah, I mean, Pavlovich is super lengthy. His reach is 4 inches longer than a guy who's 4 inches taller than him. Yeah, Pavlovich uses that reach to his advantage, long straight punches, and he has the death touch on him when he doesn't have to wind up his punches, throw super heavy hooks. He just throws nice straight punches, and they're deadly. I mean, he knocked out Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis each in 55 and 54 seconds. Just throwing those nice long punches, and they were killing him. Yeah, I mean, super powerful. Obviously got KO'd in his last one, so he could get KO'd here again. Hopefully it's within that under 1.5, but yeah, I gotta stay with Pavlovich here.
And both these guys have an amazing ability to create a ton of damage at the end of their punch. Like, their opponents' faces are extremely fucked up after a couple strikes. And as you just said, that Tai Tuivasa where he just exterminated him, Tai's face was so fucked up after 5 clean right hands or whatever landed. It's just the damage that Pavlovich can inflict is devastating. Now, Volkov is hard to hit clean, as we've kind of seen, but with that extra range that he has. But I think Pavlovich be hunting him down. And then, of course, another reason for that under 1.5 is Pavlovich got knocked out. I mean, it wasn't the worst knockout I've ever seen, but you still got hit by Tom Aspinall, so that's not fun. Any more thoughts here?
No. I mean, Volkov does seem to have some decent durability. It's only been KO'd twice. Derek Lewis, obviously, with that 3rd round KO in 2018, and then before that in Bellator in 2013. So he hasn't been getting KO'd recently. So maybe that's a reason why the line is where it's at. But
that's a scare for sure.
I mean, I don't think any of these guys are like Pavlovich, though.
Right. All right. Pavlovich KO round 1. Okay, guys. Welcome to the main event prediction. We got Robert Whittaker versus Ikram Aliskerov on short notice. Please, guys, drop that like, subscribe, drop a comment as always. Gotta go with Whittaker on this one. And, you know, Ikram, he's on short notice, but he was training for a fight that was supposed to happen, whatever the date was, June 15th, you know, this weekend when we're doing this video. He came up to this spot, so he's not going to be out of shape for a fight like this. However, traveling all the way across the world could be a little bit of a hindrance because he probably went all the way to Vegas, and then he's going all the way back. The acclimation can be kind of weird for that, but yeah, I like Whittaker. I think that 5-round experience is a big deal. Ikram, there's just so much we don't know because he's finishing people. You know, he came in here, he finished Phil Halls, who's extremely undurable, just, you know, kill or be killed type fighter, and then he beat Warley Alves, which is like no shit. So it's hard to get a read. Obviously, I think he's very good, but this is a big step up all of a sudden. So yeah, give me Whittaker.
Yeah, Whittaker has a decent takedown defense as well too. If Ikram wants to go that route as well. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is kind of a similar matchup to what Whittaker was trying to prepare for with Khamzat. Just Ikram probably is a little better. Actually, I wouldn't say better stand-up because Khamzat's the one who KO'd him. But
true.
Khamzat's probably more aggressive with that grappling game.
Right.
Whittaker's chin has been questionable here of late. Obviously getting KO'd by Sedriques 2 fights ago. But he's eaten some big punches over the last few years. Yeah, Ikram's been really deadly, but against two. I mean, this is a huge step up in competition. We'll see, but I got to go with the veteran who's fought the better guys, who has the 5-round experience as well. So, yeah, I got to go Whittaker.
You know what's very interesting to me is that, like, each guy has their own version of being rocked or knocked out. And, like, for Phil Halls, it's like, I'm dead instantly every single time I'm touched. My legs don't work. I'm completely concussed. And for, like, Whittaker, it's always, like, very rocked, legs are out, but never fully out. You know what I mean? Like, Adesanya, when he got him, when Yoel Romero rocked him 3 times in their fight way back when, he was never fully out, obviously. Rocked by Duplessis, but never fully out. And then hurt by Costa by that crazy spinning kick. Never fully out, but on wobbly legs. It's just like a strange occurrence, those strange things. So even if Ikram has him hurt, he's got to find that finishing sequence still to put him out of there. Anyway.
Yeah. I think it'll be a really, really close fight. Really good fight. Looking forward to it. But, yeah, I mean, this is just a huge step up in competition. So, yeah, we don't know what Ikram will look like with the top of the division.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ikram's definitely getting the Russian bias in terms of the odds here. I mean, what could I place these odds at for Whittaker? I don't know, because Ikram's hard to get a read on at this moment, but for all the things going against him in this scenario, I think it's favoring Rob here. So we'll see. Any more thoughts?
Nope. Should be a good one.
All right. Whittaker by decision. Okay, for the Perez versus Taira betting results, came out to plus 0.38 units. Was up 2.8 unit, whatever that number was before the last two killed us. But yeah, man, Perez went round one on all 3 judges' scorecards, close round. And then Taira kind of invented that new move to pull people to the ground, leaning back. Obviously, he had no intent on injuring Perez's knee in that scenario. He was just trying to pull him to the mat, and then just a freak injury to go with it. So if you guys haven't been with us here at Rogue Bets, we've been the victim to every single main event injury there could be known. Tom Aspinall, Rakic, Brian Ortega with his arm dislocated, Calvin Cater with an ACL tear, and there's one or two. Did I say Tom Aspinall? There's so many. We've been the victim of all of them. It's bizarre. That's our curse. By far, that's our curse.
Yeah, maybe we'll stop betting main events, I guess.
Altogether, yeah. It's some bullshit. But good fight, though. I mean, Taira is clearly 10 times better than Makayev. He got a takedown, got the back, and was able to compete in the striking pretty well still, even though he was, down. So, impressive still.
Yeah, I don't know why this card was so late.
Oh, my God. I was so tired.
But, yeah, I didn't catch the fight. But maybe they had it late for the Japan crowd, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they can do UFC Japan now and have Taira another main event there.
They totally fucked the order of this card too. Like Miles Johns and Douglas Silva de Andrade, that's a prelim, and they put that on the main card, and that sucked ass. Miles Johns hasn't been on the main card, I don't think, like ever, and all of a sudden he's the co-main. I don't get it. Anyway. I've been doing these takedown bets, man, and they've just been easy reads, and I've been beating so much line movement. I got Jekka under one takedown at minus 140, which then the ending line was minus 250. He attempted one throw, but Weston Wilson got up so fast that it didn't count. So we also called the Jekka being an idiot, and the only way for him to lose was going to the ground being submitted. And that happened.
Yeah. And he's an absolute idiot, and that's exactly what he did. Was
go to,
he swung with Wilson
as hard as he could when he was trying to hit Wilson.
Yeah.
So
he was over swinging, led to easier takedowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
But yeah, we dodged that bullet. Still under 1.5. We had some parlays on, and just for fun and stuff like that. But Shailin, more takedowns another obvious one to me. Now, he got 4 takedowns, Costa got 2. But Shailen's the wrestler, and they kept on talking about how the stand-up battle in that fight. And if you just go look at Shailen's, any of his fights, he's taking down people. So he got 4 takedowns, I believe, in round 1 to 0 in round 1. So it was pretty obvious I was going to win that bet right away. Again, he got that number as kind of close to a pick'em / underdog price. So, yeah, and then moving on, Nate Maness for a minus 675, whatever he closed at, fought like an idiot, but he still easily won, which is the funny thing. If you can't finish Jimmy Flick, you shouldn't be in the UFC.
He burned a lot of people with that under 1.5, under 2.5 fight doesn't go the distance. He was just throwing out a jab the entire time and didn't. He looked like he was sparring out there and didn't want to finish him for some reason.
Well, like, I get that Jimmy Flick has submission ability, but it's not freak of nature ability. And like, the guillotine that he let himself get into in the first place, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You shouldn't clinch with him at all. You literally don't need to have any respect for his game. You could literally just punch as hard as you could and you'll knock him out. Also, he didn't kick his leg hardly at all. You look at Jimmy Flick's last fights against Alessandro Costa and Charles Johnson, they're just kicking the shit out of his leg and he's dead in the first round. Dumb, but still got that. And then Pilarstri, Knudsen, little scary just at the end of round 1, but it's still an easy hit with that over. And then Armfield, man, every time, guys, these times we have losing bets, they don't lose clearly. Like, oh, that was the worst bet you could have ever placed. I don't think that happens very often. Like, even with the Armfield one, like, he knocked him down dead to rights in round 2. What does he do with the guy who wants to be on the ground, in scrambles, tiring people out? He jumps into the guard, he's tired, he can't finish him, and fucks himself. Just stand up and beat his ass where everyone else can do it, you know? So that sucked.
Yeah, that wasn't the smartest play there. And it cost him the fight. And it cost us money.
And a performance bonus probably for him as well.
Yeah, so $50K right there. Yeah, that was tough to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Highstand's a fish out of water on the feet. He's been knocked down in 4 straight fights. 4 straight fights. So officially, Brady Highstand has hit the list for an automatic don't bet on this fight type of thing, or bet on him if he's a crazy underdog, because he can just tire people out with grappling, and if people can't get the finishing sequence on him, he might win. So not making that mistake, hopefully again.
I don't know if he did much damage at all, but was able to find that submission there in round 3.
Yeah. We also had the perfect read on the Lucas Almeida-Timmy Kawamba fight. We're talking about how Lucas Almeida will bring all the aggression and Kawamba will have none. Kawamba really just had to throw back, and he would have found a knockout, but he just didn't even throw back, so he didn't get he just got pieced up the entire time. I thought Feud clearly lost, and I was really shocked he got the decision win. Yeah, sucks that the Sedriques fight and Joshua Van fell off, but other than that, that's it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. Almabayev couldn't find that submission. I mean, he had the back and looked like under the chin a few times. But,
yeah.
Johnson was able to fight out of those, but yeah, I mean, Almabayev clearly won that one as well.
All right. That's it from us, guys. So as always,
all the bets are posted on Patreon.
Yeah, get the early bets. As always, 5 straight winning cards. People aren't doing that well around here, so yeah. Anyway, peace.
Yeah, peace.
I know. It doesn't matter from the trenches. I'm built like this. The old doubted me said I couldn't do it. The old said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. 11-0.